Hi, everybody. So today we'll be talking with Fernando Torelli. He is an insanely amazing artist that I respect so much. And I think you will really enjoy the talk. We spoke about absolutely everything, geography, history, which is very much ingrained into his art, and even like cultural references he uses, Lebanese food. We spoke about everything. So I hope you get to know him better with this chat, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Right.
Hello,
Hi.
how are you?
Doing well.
Great. So, from my understanding, you are all the way in Brazil, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And I am all the way in Dubai on the other side.
Do you live in Dubai? Nice.
Yes, yeah. And this is what I love about our space is that we get to meet so many cool people from all around, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Fernando, for those that maybe do not know you, which I find very difficult because your art is amazing on CNFT
For real?
space.
Oh, thanks,
Uh,
man.
so you're very welcome. So for those people that might not know who Fernando Torelli is, can you please tell them a little bit about yourself?
Well, man, it's kind of hard to talk about myself, but I'm gonna try. I'm a 41 years old. I born in the state of São Paulo,
Oh wow.
but I in a small town. But I live all my life here in Rio.
Okay.
So I'm technically a carioca. Not technically, but by man, I forget
What's the word in Portuguese?
my
Maybe
upbringing,
I'm okay. Your
upbringing
upbringing. Yes.
is here in Rio de Janeiro,
Okay. Wow.
and yeah, I think I I I have been drawing for all my life. I cannot do other thing than that.
Wow. So for you, drawing is something today. After drawing all your life, it's something that is a part of you. You cannot be Fernando without drawing.
Probably, I mean, I can still be me, but will probably starve to death.
And you will probably not be having fun.
Yeah, man. Well, when I work for other people, when someone is paying me, is not so fun. But
Okay.
doing CNN NFT, doing what I want to do is awesome.
I see it in your drawings. Like when I see, like, maybe because I like to create too, but when I see your work, I see there's been a lot of heart in it. Like this came out of fun and the flow of creation, if that makes
Sure, sure,
sense.
sure, sure.
Yeah, that's what I see when I look at your
Right.
art. So you have been in the CNFT space for how long now?
Well, I think our first I mean our me and Marcos, né?
Yes.
Marcos is the guy who make things happen.
He
I
takes
I
care of your NFT account, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
and do everything that run my NFT to Twitter account and sell and all that boring shit. Marcos do for me. Thanks God. But man, I forget. Yeah, I have been Cardano since 2017, I think.
Wow.
Since the very beginning. And
Yes.
so was a contest in the Cardano forum, and
Okay.
I won. I won.
Nice.
I did an artwork, and I won. And so our first NFT was that art, bullhead.
Okay. What was it called?
I think at first we don't. I don't have name at all. But Marcos chose to call it Icarus.
Yes,
Uh,
that's the one I remember.
yeah.
Yes, this is the first one I saw of yours. I
And
loved it.
so
And
yeah, thanks,
yeah.
man. Thanks, man. And so since then, I kind of sometimes jumping in a uh, in a mythological theme,
Hmm.
and back to my to my stuff, the things I do more freely, because every time I have even I put boundaries to my work. Uh, it's kind of stiff. I don't know if that's the word, but it's
Steve, yeah.
yeah, hard to work. I mean, I like the final result. I'm all the time checking reference and seeing pictures, and it's not like I take from my head to the paper.
Yeah, and your other you have like the mythological Icarus and all of that series, but you have the other series which is the Reguladores.
Yeah, you see,
Yeah.
reguladores, meaning
Yes.
regulator in Portuguese, is
Ah, okay.
see is a series of comic books I created, and it's pretty hard to translate to, especially to English, since it's a pretty Brazilian thing. Maybe you may be related, since you are from Lebanon,
Yes.
and I assume you guys probably have some corruption problems
Yeah,
and
it's very small ones, like very, very small, like
and
not very big.
and violence and in a big
Yeah,
state, controlling
yes,
everything and things like
yeah,
that. But it's pretty hard to translate to English to
yeah.
um, but sometimes I use some of those characters and create some CNFTs. But
Yes. The yeah, the one I really liked is the four pieces, the puzzle, the Cerulanda Tower.
I see. Right. Oh, that's another thing. I kind of create it's a pretty poor creation, but I create a kind of a fantastic world, like a, I don't know, a ring world, Tolkien, uh,
Okay.
and I did those illustrations to. In fact, I did the illustrations first, and then I wrote. I kind of translated three of the histories, but also it's pretty hard to translate, since I use
Yeah, it's okay.
yeah, since I use a lot of not even a Brazilian Portuguese words and slangs, but a pretty carioca uh, from
Okay.
real language.
Can I put the picture on your website on the screen? Do you
Sure,
mind?
sure. No problem at all.
So this one here,
Yeah, man, I love it. Take
I
me a
love it too.
a long time to do it, and we still have on sale. Please buy.
Oh, don't worry. What I love about it, like I zoomed in on purpose to show people, but what I love about it is that this piece can be a piece by itself.
Yeah, that's right.
This piece also can be a piece by itself. You put them together, it's a bigger piece. This piece is also a piece by itself. Like you don't really need to finish the whole piece if you don't want to. Like even, and this is what I like. Of course, the actual piece itself is fantastic, but for me, it was the fact that you took the time to sculpt something that could be just like, even if I find those two or find those two, it is still a piece. It is still a piece. It doesn't look unfinished.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Yeah,
Take me a lot of
and
work
then
to do it.
oh, I'm sure you can see the detail. Like when I zoom in, you can really see the detail in it,
Yeah.
and it shows that you really think about your work and you take your time, and your drawings are amazing. Like
Yeah.
even this series, I think this one sold out.
Yeah. That one's so sold out. I took
Yeah.
a great inspiration from the early civilizations of Middle Eastern and Indus Valley in North Africa, like uh, uh, probably Sumerians, Assyrians.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, I really
Maybe
love.
that's why it looks familiar to me a little bit.
Yeah, that's right.
So basically, if I wanted to buy, I just click on here and go buy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very nice. Very
And
nice. Uh, And how do you feel like from your experience in the CNFT world, uh, how does it feel now I know, like, I've heard about your background a little bit before we spoke today. From my understanding, you have already worked with many brands, you have already worked with many different like you've sold your work before. It's not the first time you sell your work.
yeah, and that's the thing. I worked for Nike. I did the Brazil national team jersey for the for
Wow,
yeah
really?
for the Olympics, 2002 Olympics. I did a
Wow.
lot of shoes and shirts for Nike. I haven't I have been working forever since my teenage years, because my mother is a illustrator, an illustrator,
Wow, okay.
and I started working with her.
So is your mother interested to come into CNFTs also?
She is, in fact, she is, but I think she's waiting for the right time to do it.
Okay. That would be super cool to see your mom in it also, because we don't have many people from that generation making art on CNFT.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And my mother I I won't say a tech savvy, but she's has been working in digital art since the early 90s. She
Wow.
she
That
taught
is tech savvy.
yeah, she taught me a lot of things on Photoshop and things like that.
Wow. I love, like, I'm going through your work while we speak because I think it's amazing and people really need to see it. So I'm
Thanks, man.
taking the
Thanks.
opportunity to show it to people while we speak, and that way they can look at all of it. And it's just, yeah, this is the first one. This is Icarus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember this one. I even remember when I came in. Yeah, also Charles put it up. That's true. I remember this. I remember it very, very well. So nice. So nice. I really, really love the work you've been doing. And I
Thanks.
hope you keep on doing amazing art like this. And the beauty of this series here, the one we're looking at right now, is that it's very recognizable for you.
Oh, thanks, man. Thanks, man.
Like I can see that anytime I see something that you make, I don't need to see your name. I know this is Fernando. Like I
Cool,
don't
man.
have to think twice. Many other artists who are also great, by the way. I'm not trying to say someone's not good, but very, very few artists I've seen in our space have an actual signature. There is you, there is Mr. Intangible that I
That, that
find,
that guy is amazing.
right?
I
Like
love
it's
I love a dude who's doing butt work. I don't know if you know it.
which one?
Butt works. It's a butt.
Buttworks.
Butt
Oh,
works.
yeah. Yes,
It's
I
awesome.
think
It's
I've seen
awesome,
him.
man. It's awesome.
Yeah, he's funny. Mosey is amazing.
I
Uh,
I, I don't know it.
okay, so Mosey is one of the people on the collab also, and he does a lot of like doodles, but his characters, they're they're more whimsical than yours. Yours are more historical. He's more on the whimsical side.
Mhm.
But he's also somewhat, I would not really say he's exactly like your style, but there is a little bit of an intersection of the two styles.
Yeah,
Not 100%.
I'm gonna check it for sure. But but
Yeah.
but, but you see, is that's the beautiful about NFTs and blockchain and everything. That there is room for everyone. You can
Yes.
you can roll with a 10K project, or you can roll with a more, how could I say, more indie,
Yes. True. Yeah.
small project like mine, with low mintage. I mean,
Yes.
there's a lot of shit out there. There's a lot of bad projects.
But you know,
But then,
one man's trash is another man's treasure. So,
true. No. Uh, don't get me wrong. I'm talking about
yeah.
scams.
Yes.
Things like a dude who pick a, a, um, a image of a bear,
Yeah.
in stock image,
Yeah,
and
remember that? Yeah, I remember that. Yes.
see.
Yeah. Yeah. And what I did not like about it is that there was no, like, I understand taking a stock image and making a political or an artist or trying to be meta or trying to make like some sort of uh, commentary with it.
Mhm.
But there was no commentary there with that
It's
specific project.
pretty lazy.
Well, maybe that was the commentary that you can make money being lazy.
Nah, probably.
Maybe that was the commentary, yeah, because it was pretty lazy. I have to admit you are correct. I usually don't like to speak badly of other projects, but that particular one was a very interesting, and the way the community found everything like this, you know, they
Yeah,
started,
see, yeah.
and that was great. That was very, very nice.
I agree.
So when when I approached you, I don't know if I approached you or you approached me, but when this collab came up and you saw the parameters of the collab, because we had specific parameters for the collab. What made you think, okay, I want to do this. I can do this.
I mean, when I was a kid, I I think just yesterday, my niece found one of my school books
Okay.
of my French lessons.
Okay. Do you
I
still
never,
speak French?
no, man. I mean, my mother speaks English, Italian, and French.
Wow.
I can barely
Okay.
speak Portuguese and English. I can read. I can read French. I can read and understand Italian. Spanish is practically the same language as Portuguese, so
Yes.
no problem at all. But French is pretty hard. If, well, my niece found my school book, and there's a lot of draws that I did. Uh, uh,
On the
like
book.
yeah, on the book.
Oh yeah.
I,
Doodles.
yeah, doodles, just boxing the printed art, just like I did with
Ah, yes.
your work. See, I,
Yeah.
I love to do that kind of thing, like when you see a billboard of a politician, and
Yes.
you drew horns and
Almost like graffiti.
yeah, just like that.
Yeah.
Man, I love it. Sadly, I could do more because of time, and I feel I was running out of creativity. But
But you did quite a few actually. You did quite a few.
yeah,
And
something like I don't remember how many 20.
yes,
I really don't know.
and I really enjoyed them because they bring like they make the characters look very different. They make the
Yeah,
creatures look
yeah, yeah,
very,
yeah,
very different. And
yeah.
that is
Right.
something I really enjoyed with all of you. You all did such a fantastic job. Like because you know I'm testing it right now. Oh, we did not mention the date, but so people know this was recorded on the 10th of January. It will air later. Usually I say this at the beginning, but I was so excited to talk to you that I forgot. So yes, I'm testing everything right now just to make sure it works well. And one thing I love about yours is that like it's so simple. What you did is not really intricate. However, the effect on the creature is very big. And
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
what I loved. This is what
You see,
and now that you
I
told me the background, I love it even more.
I did everything with not um, uh,
Pen.
that kind of pen.
Yeah.
China ink, India ink, né?
Oh yes, Chinese ink.
Chinese ink. But I did
Wow.
with a Japanese pen
Okay.
who looks like a brush stroke.
Yes. Yes. So usually you work on paper and then you scan, or you
Yeah,
work
yeah, yeah,
directly
yeah,
on
yeah.
digital?
I'm a old man. I can use tablets and things like that, man. I really tried, but at the end I could imagine it
You like the
to
feeling
use
of
it.
the pen on the paper, right?
Yeah, that's right, man. I can lose it, especially because I want to have the originals. You see, if
Okay.
everything go digital, and I don't know, man, a solar flare, some, some, some really bad thing happens, man. Uh,
Yeah.
we everything will be lost. Like when you
True.
see you see old civilizations, you have everything in stone.
Yes.
For, the thing will stay for the ages,
Yes.
and paper,
Yes.
even paper is
Degradable.
degradable. If you don't treat well,
Yeah.
if don't take a proper care. But
Hmm.
digital, man, I don't know, man. So nobody
So
knows
I,
tomorrow.
I agree with you on that. I sometimes I sit and I think about that too, and I think to myself, what if tomorrow all electricity goes? What would we do?
Yeah.
You know? Can you imagine? Like, because we are the generation, and maybe one generation or two before us, we all grew up with electricity. So it's been a good 100 years of constant electricity now. Like everybody had it. In the last 100 or maybe a little bit less. In the 20s, still maybe some places around the world didn't have electricity. But today, almost it's very bizarre if you don't have electricity.
Yeah.
So if it all goes away, the internet goes with it, and this would not be possible. And I do think about that sometimes. I do sit down and think about it sometimes. It's
Oh
very,
man,
very,
I think in that kind of thing all the time. Like my I descend from immigrants, like everybody in Brazil.
okay.
My family is half Portuguese, half Italian, almost.
Yeah,
Most.
Torelli is Italian,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Just like my mother's surname. That's my father's surname. My mother's surname is also Italian, Zampieri.
Okay.
And I think all the time, man, like my great grandfather came to Brazil um to never see again his family there. I
Yeah.
mean, forever. I have no connection with my
Italian Torelli.
and Zampieri. We cut all
Yeah.
ties because people are poor. It's
Yeah.
expensive to buy a boat, a ship ticket, a
Yes.
passage. Send letter, even
Yes.
letter is a prohibitive.
Yes.
So today,
In
man,
those days, yes. And not
now
only that, it would have taken months for the letter to go
that's,
up to the America,
yeah,
from America go to Europe, from Europe go all the way across Europe by land to Italy. Like it would have
yeah.
taken months and months.
To, today,
Yeah.
my cousins living on the US, on the UK, and I can talk to them. I can see my
Yeah.
their children and pics and talk
Yeah.
via Skype and things like that. It's amazing.
Yes.
It's amazing time to be alive.
And if you look at our history as human beings, it's such a short time that this
Yeah,
happened in.
yeah,
It all happened in the last 20, 30 years that the internet made things easier. Like, of course, phone calls were different. But today, bring a child, show them a phone, remember the phones where we would, with the cord, like
yeah. I
show that
remember.
to
I
a
remember. I
child, they will
remember.
not know what it is. They will not. And that is very bizarre. That is very, very bizarre because we are one of the few generations, me, because I'm almost your age, I'm 38. So our generation was able to see what it was before,
Yeah,
like all analog, and then we went to all digital.
yeah.
And this flip for us came naturally because we saw it, we evolved with it. But the generation before us might have some trouble, and the generation after us doesn't know it. And to me, it makes us special. I'm sorry, but we are a special generation. No offense to anybody
Sure.
listening, but we
You
are
see,
a very special
uh,
generation.
I remember my grandfather. My grandfather was a musician,
Hmm.
a kind of famous Brazilian musician. He is a composer, and he talked me about how they recorded the albums back in the day.
Yeah.
It's like a crazy man. It was one microphone for everybody, and the CEO of of the record label was a an American. He stood side by side the musicians to watch what they doing because it's very expensive to record, and
Yes.
he need
Yeah.
to hurry up people. Don't
Yeah.
don't be late, don't be late, don't, finish already, things like that. Today you can record a band can record an album
Everything on the laptop.
in their house, in
Yeah.
studio houses,
Yeah, yeah,
separated.
yeah. Yes.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Like I can record one piece of music here, you can record there, someone can
Sure,
record there, and they put it all together. And this, we don't even need to meet one time in our life for us to be a band today. And
sure,
that's
sure.
very
Yeah,
true. That's very, very true. So, do I understand correctly that a lot of people in your family are creative?
yeah. We could say that because mostly of my family are blue collar people,
Hmm.
working class, and before that, people used to work in the fields,
Hmm.
in farms and things like that. So we don't have time for art. You need to work. You
Yeah,
see,
yeah,
but
yeah.
my father's family, Torelli, they have a, how could I say, noble background in Italy. People have
Oh,
money, you
wow.
see.
Okay.
So a lot of my ancestors went to study in the U.S., in Italy, arts
Okay.
and things like that. But uh, but my father's family and my mother's family, people who do art is more like a popular art, like
Okay.
folk music and things like that. My grandfather was a famous samba writer, composer,
Oh, okay.
and
Wow.
probably I don't know if you like Scorpions, the band Scorpions,
Yeah. Well, yeah. Of
a
course, I
German.
know them.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know them. Yeah.
they record some of my grandfather compositions and things like
Wow.
that. Also, I think it was Los Panchos stole some of my grandfather's musics and recorded in Mexico, in Spanish.
Wow. Did he ever get anything out of it, or was it just
Yeah,
stolen?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I think in the 70s, my grandfather go travel to Mexico and put things in clear plates.
Yes. 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 Good for him. Good for him for
Yeah,
defending his
yeah, yeah,
art.
yeah, yeah. Because
Yeah. I love to hear about this because it's very interesting to see your background because now I understand your work so much more. Like, and you said something like back in the day, people didn't have time for art, and that's
yeah,
very true. That we being in the say NFT space, and today with so much accessibility to prints to affordable art in all the senses of the meaning. To some person, affordable art might be $10. To someone else, it might be 10,000. But that access to affordable and accessible art has made it has almost democratized art, and this is where NFTs came. Even
you see,
though that is true, I still feel we are very privileged to be in the art world.
yeah, 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 for sure. You see, that's what people don't get it. The people who criticize and even demonize NFTs, saying it's bad for the artists, they are stealing you. I mean, a friend of mine was talking bad about NFTs, say some company offer offer him a little money for his art to do a NFT. I told him, you can do it yourself, man. You don't need it.
Yeah, yeah,
The thing about blockchain, you don't need anybody, man. I mean,
Exactly.
you need people, but you don't need a company, a curator, a marchand.
Exactly. Yeah. So like the gatekeepers, we call them in
Yeah,
English.
yeah,
The
right.
gatekeepers,
The
the
gatekeepers.
gatekeepers have gone, and this is something I write about in my on my website, in my manifesto. Like, to me, what I am doing is an act of rebellion towards the art world in a way. I don't say it like that, but this is how it is in my head, because I have decided that I don't want a gateway. Like, to me, I don't want my art through gateways. But this is the irony. Do you want to hear the irony? The irony is, for our art to become even more valuable, when galleries touch it, our collectors will like it more. Not the ones that have been with us already, new collectors, I should say.
I
The
agree.
ones that have been with us from the beginning, they will not care because they found us, they like us, they want to stay with us. The new collectors, if you are not in a gallery, or if you don't have this, or if you don't have that, they won't touch it. Ooh, sorry. Some people just will not touch it. And unfortunately, most of those people are the ones that have a lot of money to spend.
Yeah, yeah. Just like when you talk about when the banks will come to crypto,
Yeah.
is a pretty similar talk. You see, uh, one of one of the things that I love right now, being in NFT, working with NFT, that now I can reach people abroad. I can sell my work for people in Dubai, in the Philippines, in Japan, and things like that. I mean, now my world is way bigger than what was before.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean,
And
see,
I agree with you, because it has opened up it's funny, because I am probably more well known in Europe and Philippines, and even Japan. One of my collectors is from Japan and the US, than I am in Dubai,
yeah,
and even the whole Arab world, because there aren't many NFT collectors from the Middle East. So I don't get many people, and at least not in CNFTs, maybe on ETH, but I don't have many of there aren't many collectors from here. And that's very true what you just said, because a lot of it comes, a lot of the, like the, just by putting your art out there on the NFT space, suddenly you have eyes from all around the world on it, like
yeah.
this,
I
just
mean,
like this. Even
uh, as I told you, I did the jersey the
yes,
for and I mean, probably a billion of people saw my work in the Olympics, but nobody knows me.
that's the fault of the Brazilian government for not saying this is the person that did it.
And Nike, you see,
And Nike, yes, yeah, for sure, yeah. Sad but true. They just want to show their work, but they don't want to always talk about the person behind it.
yeah,
And this is why I am doing those talks with my collaborators, and not talking as much about the project, talking more about you guys,
I see, I
because
cool, cool,
I, I love my project. You guys love my project. That's great. We will probably talk about it a little bit, but the whole point of this is for people to get to know why I wanted to work with you, and by doing that, they have to know you guys. If they don't know you guys, they won't understand why. I know you guys mostly from your art. Some of the collab people I had spoken to personally before, but for
mhm,
you, for example, we chatted a little bit, but this is the first time we have an actual conversation.
yeah, yeah,
And this is, and honestly, I'm having a lot of fun, because it makes it makes me understand where you come from when you are drawing. Like, I didn't know you drew on paper first, and then you scanned it into digital. So I love it. it really, really makes the work completely different in my eyes. So my question to you is, what happens to the originals? Do you keep them? Do you archive them?
Man, my mother has keeping my draw since I was a toddler.
Wow.
Like I have here a VH box from VHS box from the 80s,
Yes.
loaded with my early draws. So I keep everything as much. I keep my little sister art, and now my niece art.
Very nice. That does your
I'm
little sister and
we,
your niece, are they artistic?
yeah, a lot, but my little sister is a PhD in philosophy.
Oh
She
wow. Okay, she's
she,
creative
she
from a different aspect.
yeah, she's a bookworm, academic.
I know, but
I
like philosophy is a super difficult discipline to be in today
Yeah. Now can like
because
now can you imagine doing that with a little girl, a baby?
wow, wow. Because I'm thinking of philosophy right now. Like I have a little bit of exposure into philosophy, and the way I see it, a lot of the things that have been declared by philosophers before are still valid today,
Sure, sure, sure,
which is
sure.
why they're still around. But at the same time, for someone to come out and do something new with philosophy is so difficult because so
Yeah,
much has been done before.
yeah,
So
right.
much has been done that I respect your sister because to become a PhD, she should usually it's not only research, you have to write your own philosophy.
Yeah.
So this is wow, like I'm so impressed by your family. You have no idea.
But also my sister is a great artist too.
Usually most philosophers are.
Yeah, she draw a lot, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like if you look in history, a lot of the philosophers had a physical artistry type also thing on
Yeah,
the side, but they focused on the what made them famous is the philosophy more than the art. I mean,
yeah.
one artist that some people might even consider a sort of philosopher through his art is Michelangelo.
Hmm.
If you look at all he's done with art and his philosophy behind it and all of that, in terms of art, it's
Yeah,
super philosophical.
his work is also a statement.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
he wrote his philosophy through art. I like, I love. Have you been to Italy? Have you been to go see your roots?
man, I was about to go when start the pandemic thing, man.
I was in Italy when the pandemic happened.
For real.
For real, like okay, fast, like go backwards a little bit, rewind a little bit. I was actually in China
I see.
for Christmas 2019. We were in Australia, and then that's when we started hearing something is happening in China. We go back to China. We had 2 weeks, and then we had Chinese New Year because that year it was very close to each other.
Uh-huh.
We go to Italy for Chinese New Year. We land in Italy. The next morning, China closes.
Shit, man.
And we were like, oh, China will fix it. China fixes everything, you know? We will be back after the holiday. The holiday ends and it is still closed. And that is when the pandemic just kept on going and going, and we're still in it, and it's still crazy. So if I know you were in Cardano before as a Cardano type thing, but in terms of art on Cardano and NFTs and all of that, how has the NFT world changed, the Cardano NFT world changed your life from before it?
I mean, since the beginning, when I jumped in crypto and blockchain, I was waiting for a moment to somehow integrate art and blockchain. I was waiting for a sign from the skies. But also, I would say how could I say? I'm I mean, I don't like to use other blockchains like I
Yes.
mean I'm
Purist.
yeah I'm in Cardano and Bitcoin.
Okay.
So I the thing I want to say I'm faithful to Cardano
Yes. Yes.
because I
Which
like
is great.
yeah I
Yeah.
like the philosophy. I
Yes.
like what Charles talk the goals bank then bank uh, uh, trying to improve life in the developed world, especially
Hmm.
Africa. Like
Yes.
at least for me, it's an important thing because Brazil have a lot of black people, poor black people,
Yes.
because of slavery, and
Yes.
I think Brazil, the Brazilian nation, we own something to Africa, and
Yes.
somehow, because what happens? Brazil become an empire in 1821.
Mm.
Till the end of the century, almost the end of 19th century, we have slavery here till 80 88, and
Wow.
we uh, we are the last country on the Western world to abolish slavery.
Wow.
It's,
I
it's
didn't
a
know that.
it's a shame.
Yes.
It's a shame for us. But also I see we can gain a lot to help in Africa in some way.
Yeah.
I mean, the world will gain because it's a huge country filled with wonderful people, creative people, capable people
Yeah.
to amazing thing, and that's what the catch for me in Cardano, because I really don't understand the all the coding stuff. I I don't understand about
And
Haskell and things like that. So I asked a friend of mine, a kid who sadly passed away, but he talked me about Cardano. They say nothing but good things about Cardano. So I jumping in.
mhm.
I mean,
Yeah, I agree with you. And touching a little bit on the African continent, one thing that I have always been amazed by, and I understand the reason why they did it, and it was never a good reason. But if you look at the map, if you look just, this is what we learn in school. The map we learn in school is completely fake. And it shows us the, I don't want to get too political, but it shows us the history of the empires and all of that, and how even in those days they were using education to only show what they wanted to do. Because in fact, if you look at the surface area of the African continent, it is much, much bigger than the Americas. It is much, much bigger than Europe. It is much, much bigger than that.
because of the MacArthur
The Saharan desert.
no that kind of map
Mapping, yes. Yeah, yes. It's because of the
it's a
map.
projection,
Yes,
the MacArthur map.
yes. So basically, the way I understood it is they kept it like this, even though they knew it was fake, to show the dominance of the empires over the African continent. And when I realized that and I understood it, it was very shocking that we've been lied to all our life about something so simple as surface area. Like surface area. We're not talking politics. We're not talking anything. I'm simply going down to the basic, and it is surface area.
Yeah,
And that
you see,
shocked me.
you see,
So
most people don't get even how big Brazil is. Like
massive.
we are bigger than Australia, bigger than the continuous US. If you
Yes.
exclude Alaska and the island, Brazil is
Yes.
bigger.
And then, but you look on a map, it's the same thing.
Yeah,
South America looks almost the same size as North America.
yeah.
But that's not the truth. And this is something to me, like I felt betrayed when I found out, because I loved maps growing up. I loved looking and like
Same,
and
same, same,
dreaming
same.
that I will go there someday, I will go there someday, like
I can see you travel a lot. I'm just more like a hobbit guy. It's pretty hard to take me from my home to
Not only that, the problem with South America is that the airlines are not as easy transfers. I have a lot of friends from
yeah,
Central and South America,
that's true.
and every time they want to go to Europe, it's like go from there to the US. More usually Miami. From Miami or Florida somewhere, you have to go to New York. From New York,
Yeah,
you have to go
but,
to Europe.
here in Brazil we have direct flights,
Yes, yes. To
but
Dubai now we have direct flights to Rio, I think. Yeah.
yeah, but but the thing is, my grandfather was he fought in the World War II.
Hmm.
I don't think most people know, but Brazil sent troops to Italy.
I do know that, yes, because we studied the war, but there's
Cool.
not much mention other than Brazil helped.
Yeah, no, because our participation was important, but not so important like the US or
Mm,
Canada or UK or Russia. But
yeah,
we did our part. We
yeah,
sent something like 26K soldiers, and my
okay,
grandfather fought here in the South Atlantic, patrolling the ocean, looking
okay,
for. And after the war, he joined the he got a job in a in a air company,
okay, and
Varig,
an airline, yeah,
airline, a pretty big airline back in the day. So here in my family, we have a, how could I say, a free ticket for
yes,
whenever I like. My mother
yes.
liked to travel a lot to Europe, Italy, and
Okay,
things like that.
wow, that's very
But
nice.
I only left Brazil one time in my life. I go to Venezuela, who is pretty much like Brazil, but they speak Spanish. So I'm a kind of linked to my country, saying not
Yes.
not bounded but it's pretty hard to take me from my home.
Well, I mean, if you're happy, why not, right?
I'm happy, no,
If
but
you're
also
content,
but also I want to go to places. I'm really planning to go to Italy and Portugal, and know visit my ancestral home.
so I can tell you, I've been to Italy, and I can tell you that I am in love with Italy. Like, especially there's so much history in Italy,
Yeah.
like so much. So I should say everywhere has history, but Italy has so much visible history until today, like
Do you know
everywhere.
the difference between the new world, the Americas, and Europe, Africa, Asia?
The rest of the world,
Yeah, yeah. Because here we have a lot of space,
yes.
but we are pretty young. And in the
Yes.
old world, you guys have a little space and a lot of history. I mean,
I mean, when you put it like that, it's very true. Also, it is very, very true because I mean, look at Lebanon, right? We're a tiny,
yeah.
tiny, tiny, tiny country. We're probably as big as a living compound in Brazil. You know, we're so small.
My state, I think, is bigger than Lebanon.
Oh, I'm sure it is. It's like not even a question. But then, like, the amount of history in this tiny little area is over 5,000 years old. Like
Yeah, Biblon, Tiros, the
everything
Phoenicians,
because of
Syrians,
we've
Roman
always been a
Empire.
crossroads.
Yeah,
We're
man,
always been a crossroads.
I have to say I love Lebanon, man. Is one of my favorite countries in the world.
Really?
Even I never been there. I have so much Lebanese friends, friends with Lebanese backgrounds. I mean,
Yes.
I would say most of the most famous doctors in Brazil has a Lebanese background,
Wow. Okay. Good to know.
and also a lot of politicians. Our last president,
Was yes of Lebanese ancestry.
yeah,
I
yeah,
remember Lebanese and Syrian. I think like he had
yeah,
both, if I remember.
yeah.
No, no. Brazil was Lebanon. Argentina was Syrian, if I'm not mistaken.
No,
Yes.
we have both in both
You have
countries.
both. Yes.
Yeah, and sometimes we use the word Syro-Lebanese, Syrian Lebanese to like an umbrella
Well,
a
because
term.
even in that if in that aspect of history, like the that whole area was the Ottoman Empire, and
Yeah,
then even before the Ottoman Empire, it was known as Greater Syria. Like
yeah, right.
so, we yes we have the name Lebanon that has existed for thousands of years, and it's even mentioned in the Bible more than once, and all of that. That's
Yeah,
true. But
the Lebanon cedar, right?
yes, yes, it was the Lebanese cedar was used in the Old Testament. We hear about it a lot, etc., etc. The Temple of Moses was built with the Lebanese cedars.
The Mount Lebanon também.
Yes,
I think in Psalms they mention the
yes, yeah. So we have so much history, but as you said, it is this tiny, 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 tiny little place. And then you go to the New
Baalbek, man.
World.
Baalbek.
Oh my goodness. Albak, I don't know, like I've been many times. It's such like the energy you have in places like Baalbek. And this is why I'm telling you, like Italy is such a nice place because there is so much of this. If you go to Rome, Rome is literally an open museum. Like everywhere
Yeah,
you
that's
go in
right.
Rome, you are walking in places that people have walked like intentionally because it was made into a road for hundreds and
I think
hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years.
if you spend 1 year there, we won't see everything.
No, you cannot. And then you go to Florence, which is the birthplace of art in a way, like
Yeah,
so like of art as we know it, like that really picturesque or
my my
photorealistic
my
art
father's
in
family, my father's family is from Florence.
Florence.
Yeah,
Ah,
Florence,
okay.
Florence, Pisa, and most north. I think I have a family in Emilia Romagna.
Oh wow, okay. So yeah, you have to go to those places.
I
Like
will. I will.
the amount of museums, like you can spend a year in one museum and you will probably not see everything. Like one, it's just insane. I would want to go live in Italy just so I can every day go somewhere and just sit and look at it. Just sit and look at it. It's there's so much in Europe, and this is what I love about being in Europe is that there is so much to see that you can never be bored. And I would love to go to Brazil also, like one of the
Come
places
on
I
over.
really want
Come
to
on
come.
over.
Oh, you have no idea how much I want to go. It's just due to COVID that it's
if
stopping
you
me. But
if you, if you like Lebanese food, man, we have a lot here. is almost like everyday food.
So I don't know who's behind Cardano Kitchens, but whoever is behind Cardano Kitchens knows me very well because they just posted that they know that I like shawarmas. So whoever is behind Cardano Kitchens knows I love shawarmas, and I find that very very funny because I love shawarma. You have, I'm sure you have shawarmas there also, right?
Here we call it
Doner.
churrasco. No, we call it Greek barbecue.
Ah, okay. Even the shawarma you call Greek barbecue.
Yeah, because but here we have sfirra, kibe, kafta,
Really? Sfiha kibbe and kafta.
everywhere. Like everywhere. Like last night, I ate sfirra. We love sfirra.
Wow.
Man,
Wow. I'm so impressed right now.
in every corner, we will find a Syrian Lebanese restaurant. Yeah,
That is so interesting.
one of my favorite is called Baalbek.
Oh, wow. I am so impressed right now. Because, you know, a lot of people know Lebanese food, but like they know tabbouleh, they know shawarma, they know
Tabbouleh.
hummus. Yeah, they know this stuff like that is very common. But sfiha, I'm like, sfiha, really? Like, how do you know sfiha? Like, even I don't eat sfiha that much, but it's so interesting to see that the community that went to Brazil is turned it into almost a daily dish over there, which is great.
Yeah. You see, and one of the best hospitals here in Brazil is the Syrian Lebanese.
Oh, wow.
The
Okay.
the greatest hospitals here in Brazil are one is Jewish, is the Albert Einstein. The other is
Okay.
Syrian Lebanese.
Okay, very. I mean, why not, right? So,
Yeah,
and there is a direct flight from Dubai to Rio, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
awesome.
Maybe now because of COVID it stopped, but I think it started again with Emirates. I think it started again. So it's a long flight, but it's an easy flight. Just one flight. Go, come back, and you're done. Sleep, walk around, play football in the plane because usually it's a very big one. So to wrap this up a little bit, we've gotten to know you much more. I love the intellectual aspect. I had no doubt looking at your art that there will be a very intellectual aspect to your art. And I'm glad that I got to confirm this today because it was such a nice conversation we had. And I hope people get to know you more by hearing this conversation and watching this video because I feel like NFT world is great, Discord is great, but having those conversations really allows people to know us more and to really understand where we come from with who we are. This is who shaped us. This is what shaped us. This is what kind of manifests into our art. So, what would you, to close this off, is there anything you would like to say?
No, man, first of all, thank you for the invite to the project and also to do this interview. And also, man, I have to say that there's a lot of room to grow. There is room for everybody. Everybody can join it.
Yes.
Come with new ideas, new uses, man. That's
Yes.
that's what blockchain is about, crypto is about, NFT is about, what is Cardano it's about.
That is definitely what Cardano is about. And you are very correct. There is space for everyone. There is space to grow. We are not cannibalizing each other. On the contrary, we are all adding to the wave to grow together. So thank you. Very wise words. I really, really enjoyed this, Fernando. We should do this again sometime and
Sure,
talk
sure.
more. Maybe next time we should talk about food and just
Yeah.
maybe next time we both bring
Oh,
sfiha.
if you don't know, we even have a fast food chain here in Brazil named Habib, who only
No.
for real, who only serves
Wait. I'm
Arab
googling this right now.
Habibs with a apostrophe.
Habib's Fast food. Okay. Habib's fast food in Brazil, right?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Oh yes, I see it. No way. No way. In Rio and in next to Campinas somewhere.
No, and everywhere,
Everywhere.
everywhere. I think probably in Portugal we have it. I think they opened a franchise
In
in the
Brazil.
U.S. No, in the U.S. For Florida probably.
Wow. Wow. Okay, this is so interesting. I knew there was a very big Lebanese influence in Brazil, but I didn't know it was this big.
And now because of the war in the civil war, the
Yeah.
Syrian civil war,
Yeah.
we have been receiving a lot of new refugees, immigrants who bring in more types of Arab food. I would say Levantine food, right?
Levantine food, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a question for you. I know we said we were ending this, but we're having so much fun. I'm still gonna ask a few more questions. Um, you have such a big influence, maybe, or entourage of Arabic friends and Arabic culture and Arabic food, especially Lebanese and Syrian. Would you think of doing something more Arabesque with your art? Not Arabic. I'm not saying appropriate the art. I'm saying do something a little bit Arabesque.
Like, man, I would say I think I already did like two of the flightless MF. One of them, I think it was Falco. It's
Yes,
a not Levantine, but I don't know
Arabic.
say in
Yeah.
English. Maghreb from the.
Yes. Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
it
I
several.
got. Yeah.
Well,
From the Middle East in general,
yeah, I did
or the Arabic world. Yeah.
Janizer, Janizer, a Turk warrior, but it's Turk.
Okay.
Not a because if you don't know
Flightless
here
MFs. Yeah, I found them.
here in Brazil, it's not a nice thing to say, but people
Ah. Okay.
call Arabs, Syrian Lebanese. Sometimes we call them Turks because of the
Okay. Yeah. Maybe because of
passport.
The
Yeah, the
Ottoman
passport.
Empire.
And so it's pretty common to if you have a friend who has Syrian Lebanese background, the guy will probably call it Turco or sometimes
Okay.
Turco Loco. If the guy is not good in the head, people call them Crazy Turk. It's a famous
Okay.
politician here in Brazil. His nickname is the Crazy Turk. So,
Oh wow. Okay.
but
But it's not a nice thing to say. It's not considered a nice thing to say, is it?
now is not a nice thing to. Well, it's not nice back in the day. I mean,
Okay.
the grandfather, my friend's grandfather get really pissed. Like, man, I fleet those motherfuckers. Don't call me it. So today's
Okay. Yeah.
so today I teach my niece to not call it, but because it's old stuff, you see. But it's funny
Yeah.
because
It's also.
you mentioned it, the Ottoman
Yeah.
Empire now.
I mean, I love Turkey. I've been to Turkey many times, and
Yeah, same.
the more I go to Turkey, the more I see similarities between that whole Middle East. You know, like we are so similar in our cultures that to me it makes no
I
sense
mean,
except to be friends.
it's funny because I see everything like a continuum.
Yes.
So I see so many similarities between Mediterranean people, like I don't know, North Africa and South Portugal have a lot in common, like Italy and Greece and Greece and Lebanon and Israel,
Yeah,
things like that.
yeah.
But
There's a lot of similarities for sure.
but anyway, I don't hate no country, no people. Sometimes I hate governments, but even people of Argentina, I like them.
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, governments are not they're not always a good representation of their people.
Not at all, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I have an asshole as president.
Well, again, we're not getting political here.
Cool.
So this show is not meant to be political. It's more meant to be about who we are. But if you want to call someone something, that is up to you. At the end of the day, they will find you, not me. But I understand not liking the political elite from your country, so I'm not gonna judge you on it. But yeah, I try not to get too political on those calls. So I want to thank you again, and let's try and have a chat sometime soon. I know this
Cool.
this world is crazy and we all get busy.
And
But
you
I
have
would
a lot
love to
of
have another.
you have a lot of people to chat.
I'm looking at the list now. Let me look at the list. I need to put you in green. I will update it in our group soon. But I think most people are busy. They might not be able to come anymore. I think I'm done. I might have fettuccine to do, and then I might be done.
Cool.
Yeah, I might be done. I will. Oh no, there's still Michael. Michael from Backwards Geometry. And Boss Mouse next week maybe, and Ada goes, no, I'm not done. Okay, forget that. I'm not done. I'm not done. But yeah, I've recorded quite a few. I've recorded about, by now I think that I'm up to 15 calls, and all of them go out between 45 minutes and 90 minutes, and it's really a lot of fun. There's a lot happening. So thank you. I really enjoyed this call. Unfortunately, it's 11:30, so I better go to sleep because I have an early morning. But otherwise, I would stay on this call forever. And I hope people that listen to it enjoy it and enjoy getting to know you and enjoy getting to know your project and who you are more and more and more.
Right.
So
Thanks,
I'm
man.
gonna
Thanks.
stop recording. Give me one moment if you want to say bye to everybody watching.
Bye.
Just give me one moment.